That way I'll be able to track your ship's progress from here, Max.
Is there something so wrong in finding hope?
Fitch and Crimson leave the scene once they procure the hovercraft car launched from out of the megaspace superfreighter's back cargo doors. They are long gone by the time Lieutenant Max Casbah takes control of the cosmic console for his new ship. Max Casbah goes in after O-Main and Gecko, but it's almost too late when the alien gangsters come back towards the porthole from their end of the Milky Way in order to be in range of the Time Meter Gateway. Max's mighty ship blasts off and sets a course for the other end of the transdimensional porthole while Commander Starfire and his Starcop crew work on disarming the bomb from the Time Meter console control station. Little did they know, the aliens had redirected the time coordinates for the porthole's trajectory in space. As Max's cosmic cruiser entourage escort prepares to follow him through the porthole, something goes terribly wrong. An electromagnetic disturbance is sent through the porthole from a distant signal. A black cloud opens up in the sky like lightning bolts striking. Lightning striking like striking a crack above in the heavens. Everyone on Zeon starts to move in extremely slow
motion.
And everyone starts to move in extremely slow motion.
And all of a sudden,
They're taken to
other dimension.
When they
noticed that the brine bomb hadn't gone off yet, they returned to the scene of the crime in order to be arranged so they could make sure that their
job was done right this time. Escaped criminal gangsters like O-Main and Gecko had years of experience when it came to outrunning the Starcops. They were going to be certain that no Starcops could follow them, so they waited on the other end of the intergalactic porthole for any sign of a pursuit. Lieutenant Max Casbah goes in through the Galactic Gateway portal after O-Main and Gecko, but then it's too late when the alien gangsters come back to Zeon in order to be in range of the portal while the Starcops are still trying to deactivate the bomb. O-Main remembers adventures he had with an old red alien lizard activist friend of his from years ago, long lost past the desert, whose name was Primero. He thought about using the time meter gate to meet back up with his old partner Primero in his old time, because he knew that Primero would never double-cross him, since they were old childhood friends ever since they scavenged Zeon's desolate red desert surface together for amoeboid parasites as young alien lizard hunters. And that was the Gwat ritual. Now O-Main was on an even more dangerous mission that could affect all space and all time with Gecko, the alien leader of the Gwats. Once they saw Max Casbah's space freighter cross through the time meter gate to their dimension, they knew more would surely follow. This was a sign that they were waiting for in order to throw the rest of the Starcops off the trail. By this time, the Starcop bomb squad unit has rolled through, unlocking 5 digits. But there's still 5 more sets of numbers to crack in order to completely deactivate the explosion. Once the intergalactic time meter gateway is activated from Zeon, Max had temporarily escaped the countdown by going through a slightly different gateway that was rerouted to their alien enemies' coordinates from the main computers. On the other side of the portal, Gecko pressed the destruction button on his remote control detonator and blew the rest of the Starcops to smithereens. The shockwave sent Max's ship reeling out of control towards the distant reaches of the Milky Way galaxy. Back on planet Zeon, in the future of the other time dimension that Max and the alien gangsters left behind, Commander Starfire, Control Guard Officer Nick Malvin, along with the rest of the Starcop reinforcements, their 8 Bumblebee Battalion spaceships, and the cosmic porthole froze for a second in the enormously explosive energy blast before they all became vaporized. Backlash of the enough to create a black hole, although it did create an electromagnetic disturbance that split Lieutenant Max Casbah's time into one separate zone and Zeon's into 2 parallel universes. It would take years to rebuild a gate at Zeon's aftermath destruction site, and it would have to be reconfigured so Starcops could take advantage of the newly formed antimatter zone in order to find lost time and space travelers like Lieutenant Max Casbah. These pioneers of new metaphysical dimensions were on their own. That's part of what made space so lonely and mysterious, but worth understanding. Only the most foolish of men and aliens would attempt to conquer and control the unpredictable forces of nature and the condition. Everyone near the time meter gate on Zeon disintegrated in the explosion. Besides Glitch and Crimson were miles away by now, which makes you wonder why they survived, metaphysically speaking. With insanity, misled by lies of conformity, because we are given the individual gift of questioning things. Well, what about the other ship that got through the portal? Is in an altered time zone just like us now, with no way to get back and report to his superiors. Conformist, but then... He's a lost cause. We have more important things to worry about. Besides, I'd rather not waste any more time here now that we got what we needed. Gecko replies in a raspy, slither voice from his cosmic console.
We have to build the transdimensional gateway, and if it wasn't for alien technological discoveries, they wouldn't even have the power of space and time dimensional travel anyway, so I can destroy our ancestors' gift to us at any time I want to, since it's being stolen and exploited by lower life forms, no matter how recklessly.
Now look what you've done. You destroyed our galactic gateway, with killing a few humans worth getting lost in space.
Since it's being stolen and exploited by lower life forms, no matter how reckless they may seem, we'll just have to find another porthole.
But where would we find the gateway back? Out here in this time, they may not be invented yet.
Nonsense.
When survival of the fittest has been replaced by the survival of the richest, it says instead of the survival of the most intelligent, it should be survival of the smartest, but there are different ways of measuring intelligence, so sometimes smart people are...
Spaceship must have tracking device on it to help us find our way back. We'll just have to follow the back to Zeon if we need to be when his Starcops superiors require him to return. Hopefully, thanks to our cargo space detonator, they won't be there, and we can return back to our homeland safely. For now, all we need to do is remain incognito.
Gecko recommends that there's an alien gangster friend. Should we follow the other ship?
Have the power within you
to the government directly because it's too dangerous
to change the government instead of relying on an establishment or others to do it for you. It is not God as an omnipotent body.
Your primitive construction.
Should we follow the other ship?
O-Main asks Gecko telepathically.
No, let him go for now, so we can lay low. He has to come back this way anyhow because all our galactic portholes lie beyond the Helix Nebula region. Our galactic time meter gateways relies on the red dwarf stars for power. One thing is for certain, there is no transdimensional portals in the Milky Way, and the Earthlings don't know how to harvest the power of black hole alone. They need us just as much, if not more, as we need them. We don't have the technology or engineering skills between us right now to rebuild a galactic gateway, but there might be other like minds around who know how to harvest the power of a star's demise in order to convert a black hole into a time warp device that could double the speed of light once our ships surpass the speed of light. It has something to do with time being elapsed to space and distance relatively to speed.
It
has something to do with time being related to space and distance relatively to speed. We could try to jump start a time warp with the speed of our ships and find a nearby supernova to dive into now, but we have enough fuel power with the new electromagnetic hydrotubular engines.
But what if the Earthling decides not to return to Zeon?
Oh, he'll come back, trust me. Once he finds out what's left of his home planet, he'll have no other choice.
The purple salamander alien named Beanpool began thinking about how ironic it was that his ancestors depended on pure, untainted water to breathe and survival. Now they say that same natural resources even more valuable when it came to cultivating planets, or when contaminated with radiation as enriched fuel for special combustion spaceship engines, like the ones that burn tetrahydro plants for fuel resin, but now yet more efficient as oil than a normal combustion engine, but which ran out of outdated and limited fossil fuels of dinosaur bones. Any form of life always releases energy, whether it's through creation, destruction, or a combination of the two. Chain reactions of consequences seem infinite until unpredictable paths create a logical illusion of containment, like being able to harness or cause the natural destruction and power of planetary storms, or the magnificent energy of a black hole. Was mankind foolish enough to think that they could control the weather, or was Mother Nature really their god? That was the question that caused years of wars and evolutionary conflicts, which we are all too familiar. All the aliens, Gecko, O-Main, and Beanpool had to do was make it back through the teleportation gate to Zeon without being recognized or busted by the Starcops for selling extremely rare and powerfully charged H2O at outrageously inflated prices, since they cornered the market for this universally recognized fuel source on the Zeon Colony. This smuggled commodity could go for trillions of space credits on the black market in the Zeon Colony sector of the universe if only the aliens could figure out how to get back to their homeworld. But they were stranded in a parallel universe on Earth's past, Mesopotamia.
Just go back to living off the land and harnessing the natural power.
The New World.
The New World Order. We know Traverson will destroy us. We cannot all unite.
We cannot all unite and act as a hive mind because we are not bees. We were meant to think and question reality. God gave us free will as our greatest gift. If a totalitarian dictatorship brings us closer to self-destruction than peace, we cannot let the masses be misled by insanity. Our nonconformity is what will save us. If the majority unites in an effort to dominate everything, then absolute power corrupts absolutely.
FDA has approved.
Communication can no longer exist. You will die. You will die. I repeat, you will die.
Hundreds
We were meant to be individuals. We were meant to question reality.
the corporation.
Oh, he'll come back. Trust me. Once he finds out what left of his home planet, he wouldn't have a choice.
Consuming resources faster than ever before. The population is growing exponentially, but who does the government decide who's to live or die? Even the most intelligent nonconformists may slip through the cracks, and that's where God comes in. They use the healthcare system, they create the disease, and they sell the cure to control our greatest gift. If a totalitarian dictatorship brings us closer to self-destruction than peace, we cannot let the masses be misled by insanity. And they think we haven't figured this out. We have.
And
The ones that are competitive, even as if there's something wrong with
But yet it's this New World Order conformity that will destroy us, because we cannot act as a hive mind, since we are not bees. Humanity was given the greatest gift of free will to question reality. So we are meant to be individuals, and our individuality will ultimately save us.
Do you make them suffer and do the same to them as they did to you for so many years?
Or do you take the higher ground? There's a difference between being omnipotent and having the power of God within you.
Everyone has the power of good and evil and God within them. Isn't that the true meaning of all ancient religions? Yet we're not allowed to speak the truth.
and have us homeless and suffering.
People began to wonder the ancient cat people, aliens, had to worry about money in order their highly advanced civilizations when they were competing against the censures for control of their own planet. It's that competition that humanity has turned...
Base credits on the black market in the Zeon Colony sector of the universe. If only the aliens could figure out how to get back to their homeworld.
Take the higher ground. There's a difference between being omnipotent and having the power of God within you.
Everyone has the power of good and evil and God within them. Isn't that the true meaning of all ancient religions? Yet we're not allowed to speak the truth?
And have us homeless and suffering.
Then people began to wonder the ancient cat people, aliens, had to worry about money in order their highly advanced civilizations when they were competing against the censures for control of their own planet. It's that competition that humanity has turned us against each other. That's mankind has done that to himself. It's not God or the devil. We were meant to discover logic.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have this technology by which to improve the civilization. It's not the knowledge of logic itself that's bad, it's what we do with it in an immature mind that becomes dangerous. You can give a child a toy gun, but you don't need to teach them how to kill themselves with it. They can also learn how to use logic to make better medicine instead of faster ways to destroy ourselves. Yet, such technological inventions left in the hands of children are a recipe for disaster without the wisdom of years of experience and enlightenment. There's no measure of competing against one another in order to survive. Instead of working together, yet we are not closer to peace in a totalitarian dictatorship if we're forced to compete against one another. If we haven't learned from history's mistakes, we have been doomed to repeat them for one too many thousands of years.
Have just traveled through the environment from parents teaching their children these values and beliefs.
For the metaphysical world, the true meaning of planet Zeon isn't the psychological seed cure or the synthetic enlightenment that you can temporarily see beyond the afterlife with. Maybe it's the knowledge of realizing that you have the power within you to change the government instead of relying on an establishment or others to do it for you. It is not God as an omnipotent father figure force controlling us. It is us being free to find divinity within ourselves. That is the answer. Individuality is the antidote to totalitarian dictatorship. Not everyone can control everything all the time.
The overpopulation problem, businesses and corporate technology, however, have become more of a priority than human rights. At what point are we going to learn how to value humanity again when survival of the fittest has been replaced by the survival of the richest? And so instead of the survival of the most intelligent, it should be survival of the smartest, but there are different ways of measuring intelligence, so sometimes smart people are at the mercy of limited financial struggle.
A person's success is not financial alone, but the philosophical potential of an individual's spirit is infinite.
But you're going to have to do it secretly.
How I get the message through? Maybe the aliens want us to evolve to our full potential, and they've been trying to enlighten us all along, but governments won't allow this because, as they know, they have to control us with fear through their censorship and shape-shifting. Aliens try to warn us. Yeah, they have to come to me individually because I'm peaceful, free-thinking, nonconformist. But then,
It's It's the nonconformity that will save us in the end, and not uniting with insanity, misled by lies of conformity, because we are given the individual gift of questioning things. So the individuality of nonconformity is what will save us. In the end, you see, it's the gift of our individuality that the cosmic prophets has granted us with.
Story never told.
It's the story that was never told. If you want to be so bold. If God is ubiquitous energy of all organized life, organisms united, is the only way to get to heaven through the metaphysical world.
Pulling me in that intense dimension of subconsciousness where I'm narrating like the lost dream and in the middle of a voyage through death in a dream where you die in a dream. And I recorded these like audio dramas like that.
So it's not through the psychological seed cure that you get there, that the planet, the utopian colony of the planet of the gnomes, is only through the metaphysical transformation of death that you're able to rejoin the cosmic forces of peaceful spiritual energy, and there is no more need for violence. Because can you expect all of humanity to just lay down their weapons and stop fighting? Is it that unrealistic and idealistic within the reality? Or is it just that one simple fact that's preventing us from seeing the infinite potential of spiritual peace that could be existing in a utopian society on the planet of the gnomes? So I'm left with the moral dilemma of Crimson Sunflower once again. The more philosophical I get, the more I end up with the same cycles of existence and patterns repeating themselves of life over again. So, should I stay and try to help save humanity? If I could discover a cure with technology for all of the ills of society through modern inventions and logic, even if at the risk of the government controlling this information and misleading the population with it? Or should I selfishly escape to the planet of the gnomes, even though it sounds pretentious? It seems selfish to just leave the abandoned prison colony of Zeon behind to join the long-lost colony of the utopian gnome civilizations, but at what point do you decide? Is it more detrimental for my mental health to try to help people realize how to stop killing themselves, or to help mankind stop coming up with faster ways to misuse modern technology instead of better ways of developing the potential technology to cure ourselves instead of kill ourselves? That's not up to me alone. So what's the point in staying behind on Zeon and helping find the cures for society if the government's going to prevent me from doing that? Yeah, what's the point of, since I'm from this planet, I feel like I have an obligation to stay behind and help them? Or is it selfish of me to become idealistically escapist and leave this planet behind? Can a utopian society only exist in the metaphysical afterlife? Or is it possible, faced with the struggles and the conflicts of reality, to find a utopian society within our existence? Reality is a state of mind only based on perception. If you can imagine heaven, everyone can have the same vision? Or can they? No, it's not possible. We were meant to be individuals. Everyone's free to think what they want to think. And then there is a reason for that, and the reason for that is we were not meant to think all the same things and dominate with one idealism and one religion and one new world order. We were not meant to be a hive mind because we were not bees. We were meant to think individually. Our nonconformity will save us once again from our own destruction. Is it not more valuable to find hope within yourselves instead of depending on an establishment?
Administration to do it for you, or organized religion? Is there something so wrong in finding hope in God within yourself instead of looking everywhere else for it? That is the question. What's more valuable? To find better ways to sacrifice your life and die, or to find better ways to sacrifice your life to live? Or do you even have to sacrifice your life in the first place? What's with that suicidal concept? Actually, it's kind of pointless. There is no need to sacrifice your life.
Maybe we're meant to discover better ways to develop our spiritual potential infinitely. Instead of being expected to sacrifice your life for a greater cause, we're meant to find better ways to improve life circumstance while we're here. Because man-made laws are always flawed, but yet death is the great equalizer in the cosmic ubiquitous omniscience.
Gecko were flying together next to O-Main's spaceship outside of the Andromeda Strain, trying to decide what to do through ship-to-ship telepathic thought broadcasts about their situation. O-Main raised his tail in his cockpit console and revealed spikes on his back that looked like they were left over from the dinosaur age of lizard ancestry.
I think we're done here. I need to get back to my own time in order to move this new shipment of radiation enriched H2O rocket fuel.
Understood.
up with Primero in the past. He said something about smuggling spaceship parts before I left. This way, the Time Patrol Starcops won't be so hot on our trail when we get back to our own time zone because they will have no knowledge of having to look for us yet. If I go back further enough in time before the space bank robberies that Primero and I pulled all those years ago, our radiation-enriched fuel will be easier to sell at a pretty steep price then as well. We pulled way too many heists for me to remember the exact date of our first successful job, though. Wait, Gecko, maybe you have an idea. Roll.
I can't help you until I get my butter right. I can't help you until I get my butter right.
We'll get you those space credits from my former bank heist spree, like I promised. As long as you get me to the next teleportation portal. Then you'll go back to this command control. For sure, after you get the money, I'll need collateral. That's why you have to follow me to the next transdimensional gateway. Oh, nice thinking, boss. Good thinking, boss. I'll follow you back to your time, just on your roof to get what's mine.
Ground is melting into patterns of paisley pink and green amoeboids. Yeah.
Spiritual vibrations, the rainbow emanation, flickering between dimensions.
By this time, Beanpool and Gecko were flying together next to O-Main's spaceship outside of the Andromeda Strain, trying to decide what to do through ship-to-ship telepathic thought broadcasts about their situation.
Gotta find more life, gotta re-energize, gotta re-energize.
The giant